Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for a radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, joining us are our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. This is part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD. And today we're talking about overdoses. Overdoses are not merely stats. They represent real people. We're talking about family members and, of course, even our friends and neighbors. Nearly 80% of overdose deaths, though, are caused by opioids, including prescription opioids. Well, here to talk to us about why it's so important for us to be aware of this and what we can do to make a difference, we're excited to welcome lifestyle influencer Dani Schaffer to our program today, as well as former Congresswoman Bono. They're going to talk to us about their public awareness campaign they're working on to raise awareness for all of us and how you all can get involved. Thanks to the two of you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ms. Bono, I'm going to begin with you. You've been a long-time advocate for raising awareness of opioid abuse. Can you tell us what compelled you to get involved in this?
Sure, Cyrus, thank you. I got involved because I realized early on, first of all, this problem hit my family in our home. I was not interested or paying attention to it really until it hit my family, and it hit us hard. And I recognized at that point that we needed to talk about this publicly and raise the awareness about the dangers of opioids in the wrong hands. And nowadays, Dani and I are working really hard to talk about fentanyl and the dangers of fentanyl. There's no longer any room for error for people to make these mistakes. Kids are being offered illicit pills that look like legitimate pills. Gee, it looks pretty good to me. And it's an illicit pill laced with fentanyl, and it is deadly. So we are out doing everything we can to raise this issue, to raise awareness, and to tell parents and people before there's a problem to pay attention and to have a conversation, to reverse the silence around this problem.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And Dani, it also is something personal for you. If you don't mind, share with us your own journey with this and about your brother.
Sure. Just like Mary, it hit me in my face as well. In 2018, I lost my baby brother, who was 33 years old, to an accidental opioid overdose with a pill that was laced with fentanyl. And that day, my world was rocked, and I am crushed by that. And a lot of people don't know what to do if their loved one is using opioids, and I didn't know I should have had a safety plan in place. And that is why I partnered with reversesilence.org so that I could learn and raise awareness that there are options out there and you can get help, and you need the proper resources if you're dealing with this in your home.
Ms. Bono, you mentioned, of course, fentanyl and how dangerous it is. What do parents and children need to know about opioids, especially when it comes to fentanyl?
Well, look, this is a big topic, but opioids, true prescription opioids should never be in the wrong hands. Of course, people still need them to treat acute pain, so there is a need for them, but they should never be in the wrong hands. This Saturday is the DEA Take-Back Day, so anybody who has unused and unwanted medications, opioids specifically, it's the day to gather them all up, throw them in a bag, and take them down to the DEA Take-Back site and get rid of them. We do know that a lot of the opioid use disorders in America begin in the medicine chest. So that's one place to start. But with fentanyl, this is a conversation that has to happen. We need to move this from simply the headlines over there into an action plan in our homes. There isn't anybody I'm aware of who doesn't know somebody who's been affected by this. So Dani and I are saying this isn't just a headline, folks. This is an action plan you need in your house. Carry naloxone, carry the opioid overdose reversal medication. I stumble on that every time, and I don't know why, but carry naloxone and have a plan in place. One of the frustrating things for me with this epidemic is that there are oftentimes good Samaritan bystanders. There are people who are trying to save a life, But when somebody is overdosing, you can't save their life with CPR or mouth-to-mouth. You need to first call 911 and then very quickly administer naloxone. And that's what's going to save the life and reverse that overdose and then hopefully get somebody into treatment.
That's such a great point. I want to ask you, Dani, what would you say to anyone about taking opioids and what they need to be aware of?
I would say to communicate with your loved ones. I would say also watch the video on reversesilence.org and look at this real story that has happened to people. This can happen to you. You can overdose and die, and that's the alternative to not getting help, to not communicating. And we need to support our loved ones. You can hate the drug, hate the disease, but you can't hate your loved one. You have to love them, and you need to have empathy and to know your resources, that there are places where you can get help. You can have a safety plan, all of that. And it's important to really know your resources.
Again, that's reversesilence.org. We'll make sure we link that up for our audience, Dani. Thank you for that. Ms. Bono, last question for you. What can people do to help others who are struggling with addiction?
First of all, love them. Love them with all your heart, and then seek the right resources on how to deal with it. You know, we don't ask ourselves, how do you help your loved one who's struggling with cancer or with asthma or diabetes? We say get help, get professional help. There's no shame in it whatsoever. This is a disease. But it starts with love. And then after that, get adequate help, get good professional help and assistance in handling this disease, because recovery can and does happen. But, it's a lot of hard work in between here and there, but it's possible. So love them and then get the help you need.
Again, everyone, Dani Schaffer and former Congresswoman Mary Bono have been our guests, talking with us about this very important topic. As they mentioned, a DEA National Take Back Day this year is April the 30th. Make sure you guys do get involved for yourself. And then that website you heard Dani mention is reversesilence.org as well. Thanks to the two of you for the work that you're doing and for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you having us on.
Hey, glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.